taste coffee shops and not sleep for 24, 48 hours just to meet one person for a meeting. And what I would do is find out as soon as they went in, I found out what kind of coffee they had. The next day I was waiting there with that coffee. I said, I need 2 minutes of your time. Here's your coffee.
This is Dave Meltzer with Entrepreneur, and I am here maybe with the #1 entrepreneur in America. #1 in my heart, not yet as well known, but will be, Josh York.
Appreciate that.
The founder of GYMGUYZ.
Yeah, that's right. GYMGUYZ with a Z.
All right, Josh, you are the epitome. You are the #1 entrepreneur in my mind. In fact, you were meeting with a guy named Aaron Price who gave me a Determines bracelet. And his business model is you get one and then you have to give one to the person that you feel is most determinate. And after meeting you, 5 minutes, he's like, oh, you got to give him the bracelet. And
I appreciate that.
It's crazy. Where does that determination, because you are one of these guys, it's not like you went to Harvard Business School. You're just all determination.
All determination.
Where did that come from?
You know, I'm just very driven. You know, I set my goals and I know what I want to achieve, but everything for me is literally, you want to get that blank canvas. You want to take out a paintbrush. You want to paint your vision. You want to see where you want to go. And I always say, you can do anything you want in life, but you have to actually believe it. And I really truly believe without vision, you won't be successful.
It's interesting because a lot of people think they believe, but I think true form of belief is action.
100%.
Right? Like when someone truly believes something, they take action and they don't stop until it's done.
100%.
So I think you founded the company in 2008?
2008, yes.
With 15 grand?
$15,000.
How'd you get the
bootstrapped.
15 grand?
So I know nothing about golf. My friend said, hey, Josh, I can get you a job at this golf course caddying. And I was like, what's that? That's great. He's like, yeah, it pays awesome. I was like, all right, I'm in. So I just went out there. I really didn't know anything, but I got very lucky. And I do think luck plays a part to this too, but you have to make sure you're in the right places at the right time. So I'm all about research. So what I did was I started seeing who were like the top people in this country club. And I made sure I literally visually knew who they were, found out who the top one was, and I just made sure I was right next to this person at all times. And the one morning they got called out, they pulled a caddy, I was that caddy. And I made sure I did everything I can to connect with him, but I already knew a lot about him just from social media, from online. I had his favorite stuff. He loved me. I went out with him every week. He used to pay me a ridiculous amount. They used to call 18 holes a loop. I'm not a big golfer, I'm a hockey player.
Right.
And I just saved up every single penny. I just saved up everything. And then when I came up with the concept to create this gym and franchise and be mobile, I said, I'm gonna spend everything. I'm gonna leave myself with about $1,000 to $2,000, roughly around that range, to have enough expenses for 2 weeks, and I have no choice. I have to make it work.
That's awesome. It's interesting because there's two things that you did there that I think make someone successful. You were more interested than interesting.
Yep.
There's this place where luck, opportunity meets preparedness.
Yep.
Nobody, how many caddies probably were working there at one time? Nobody did what you did, right?
See, and this is why I talk about visualizing. See, I truly believe I'm one of the baddest people on the planet. And I really believe that, and I don't care.
Bad meaning good.
Bad meaning good, yes. But I am like, you're not gonna touch me. I do my cardio in the gym, I duct tape my mouth, I breathe out of my nose, I do all types of crazy stuff to build my mental capacity, because you gotta be mentally tough. But you have to really put yourself out there and be willing to do what others won't do. And I always say, you have to be uncomfortable until you can get comfortable. And if you can't be okay with being uncomfortable, you're never gonna move the needle.
I agree. And I love the fact that you were strategic. I do the same thing, and people might think it's weird, about charity.
Yep.
So, for me, I'm gonna get involved with charity, but I'm gonna get involved in the charity with the people that I want to have the same frequency with.
100%.
Right? That have resources.
Yeah.
And I think from Tony Robbins, all the way down the line, Zig Ziglar, all the old guys will tell you that you have to put yourself in a position to be successful by being prepared. And part of that, I believe in going to college. Like, entrepreneurship is so big, I get offered to speak at all these entrepreneurial schools. But the main thing is, I would look at the alumni. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur,
100%.
Like, part of it is, okay, what connections am I gonna have? Because I automatically have an emotional connection to someone if we're both Buckeyes or Longhorns.
Very smart.
Right? And
Very
you
smart.
can see millionaire clusters of people that go to the same school.
I'll sum it up for you right now.
Yep.
If you want to be successful, you have to build relationships. That's it. I always say, You have to be able to be friends with someone at the low level and someone at the high level, whether it means that's a billionaire, whether that means someone who's just up and coming. You have to be able to adapt to an ever-changing environment. But I can walk in anywhere and make friends with someone within seconds. If you put me in jail, I will make friends with everyone in there. Yeah. That is how I operate. And when you're able to operate at that kind of level, you will achieve greatness.
And you also have extraordinary confidence that
100%.
Comes from clarity, balance, and focus.
Yep.
To that level too, piece of advice, treat your friends like your bosses and your bosses like your friends.
Love it.
So here you are. Where does this confidence come from? Because belief is one thing, and then there's action.
Yep.
And then the third component is, okay, I truly believe this. I'm doing everything that I can. I'm doing research to get my funding. That, it's not like I ever asked the guy for money. You earned your money by picking the richest guy, knowing what he liked, knowing that he would give you the biggest tips, always requesting you. You created your own little funding source.
100%.
You didn't go on the road saying, I got a business plan.
Nope.
And then you put all the sacrifice in.
All of it.
Right?
See, the problem is people look at the finished product. No one ever looks at what it took to get there. I could tell you
how long it took.
And how long it took. But look, I ate cans of tuna for 4 years straight. I got evicted from my apartment. I've slept in the van. I've literally, just to meet somebody, I've cased coffee shops and not sleep for 24, 48 hours just to meet one person for a meeting. And what I would do is find out as soon as they went in, I found out what kind of coffee they had. The next day I was waiting there with that coffee. I said, I need 2 minutes of your time. Here's your coffee. And they said, how do you know my coffee? I was like, well, I was here yesterday. You might think I'm crazy, but just trust me. And just give me 30 seconds. That's all I need. 30 seconds and I'm going to make an impact. But that's how you have to be. But yes, I've literally ran when I've gotten a flat tire to a client just so I was on time. I've worked in blizzards. I work when I have the flu. I just truly believe in my mind that nothing can stop me. And when you truly believe that, just like, look, I've had more negatives in my bank account over the years than sunny days in the Caribbean. But at the end of the day, I know it's gonna be all right. And I know I'm gonna make it out. But you have to be able to, like Winston Churchill says, when you get to hell, just keep going.
Right.
You just don't stop. The reason people fail is because they quit. You can't quit.
You can never fail if you don't quit. And moreover, too, you come up with really creative ways, like the coffee. Recently, I heard you did something, I call it the empty mile. Yep. There's guys that they walk the regular mile, it's really crowded, and then they wonder why they can never make it. And then there's guys that work the extra mile, and they're successful. But Josh Work, looking at what you do, you're with me in the empty mile. You do things that nobody else would do.
I think as if there's no box.
So you like to get on people's attention or radar, to whether it's a podcast or do business with. You sent the weirdest gift I've ever heard.
Yep.
What'd you do?
I shipped out tires. So
like what kind of tires?
18-wheeler truck tires. Let me tell you something. If you would see the expression on a woman in the store when I'm walking in with all these tires, this woman couldn't stand me. And I'm like very superstitious with certain things, so I had to wait there until the package was closed because I wanted to make sure the tire was up. The note had to be at the top. It had to be stuffed properly. I don't want them just throwing it in a box. But I think as if there's no box. And I said, listen, my drive and intensity are going to leave tread marks all over your floor. We need to connect. And I write mic drop, and I left a plastic microphone in a box. And at the end of the day, who's not going to be like wowed by that? People try to do crazy stuff.
How many tires did you send out?
22.
22 tires. How much did it cost you?
It was about $650 a tire.
$650 a tire. And what was your ROI on that?
21 people responded. One person didn't.
And those 21 people were significant people that I would imagine
major players.
Some companies pay 10 sales reps, 10 grand a month to get in front of.
Everyone responded to me. Every single one. Some I'm still working, but everyone except one person. And I'm gonna get that one person, you mark my words, but one person.
Can you tell me who that person is?
My man, Andy Frisilla. I sent you that tire. You need to get back to me, my man.
There you go, Andy. Give us a call. I personally, that would have got my attention.
100%.
I get people, people pay a lot of money for me business coaching. They pay to shadow me. They do all types of things. But every once in a while, someone shows up at my door.
Yep.
And we have cameras and stuff, and you see them stalking, they're nervous and whatever. And every single time, no matter what I'm doing, if that kid, it's usually a younger person, comes in and says, I just want 30 seconds of Mr. Meltzer's time.
It's great.
How often do you think I say no?
You probably don't. Well, you're a good guy. You
Never.
really, I have to say that. I'm not just saying this because we're on camera. You're a good guy and you got a great heart.
Because I've been on the other side of it.
And listen, that's
and
why
I want to reward that behavior of people.
I respond to every message. I get hundreds on LinkedIn a day, hundreds. And sometimes people, I've had people literally put their numbers in there and I've called them within seconds and they couldn't believe I called them.
Right.
But when I was there and I was dying for help, no one helped me. People paid attention like I was a nobody. And you know what? When you do great things, I truly believe that you get it back.
Yeah. And you don't do it for that reason.
No, I don't.
But you believe it. I feel the same way. I love the surprise on people's face when
Love it.
They're like, I just want to make, I'm like, here's my cell phone, call me.
Yep.
Or they leave me the cell phone and I call immediately. And the biggest response that I get is, you're the only one that has ever gotten back to me.
But think about
regardless of whether you help me, you're the only one.
And think about how great that's going to be for you. Because look, we're only blowing up, and I'm never going to forget you. Because you responded to me probably faster than some of the others did. Yeah. It took me a couple times, but
without a tire, by the way.
Without a tire, and you responded to me.
That's okay. I saved you $650.
Yes, you did. You saved me $650, and you responded to me. But you know what? As we keep blowing up, and now we're doing some stuff with your company, we got things in the works. Like
you got speaking engagement.
Yes,
it all pays forward.
Everything is about connecting. You have to connect the dots, but it takes time. If you lack patience, you lack results.
Yeah. But you also are consistent.
100%. Consistency wins.
I wake up at 4 consistently. The biggest joke between us, you wake up at 3:15
every day.
But like you're a sniper's dream boy.
Love
because
it.
they know exactly where to find you.
They know exactly where to find me. They know
you're so consistent.
So consistent.
That's
so
awesome.
Consistent. I love it.
But do you see? Consistency is such a huge issue for me. The exponential results of doing it every single day.
I am such a big believer that I don't care if you're planting flowers every day. I don't care if you're ironing your clothes. Routines are truly very important component to success, and you have to be consistent. I say so. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I said, you could build your business so much more. Why are you on social media? Like, you're missing out. He's like, I don't know. And he's like, I don't have the time. I said, you brush your teeth every day? I hope so.
Right.
He's like, of course I do. I said, well, you need to be doing social media like you brush your teeth. That's got to be part of your routine. I don't have time. I said, listen, I can't talk to you if you tell me you can't have time, because I will prove you wrong every time.
Right.
Sometimes I put my kids to bed and I go back to my office to put more work in and then still get up at 3:15, but you got to constantly be going at it.
It's so funny you say that, because one of the ego needs that I fight is the need to be offended. And one of the biggest offenses that I have is like meditation to me.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys, I didn't have time to meditate.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, right. But the idea is you don't have time. Everyone has 24 hours of activity.
Yep.
Everybody can find, I keep most of my phone calls to 5 minutes.
Yep.
Most of my meetings are 20 minutes for a reason. So I have time for everyone that's there.
Smart.
I even do 3-minute overview calls, which allows me, think about it, 3-minute overviews. If you're disciplined about it, that means you can do 20 calls an hour. 20 people of the 100 that reach out to me,
Smart.
I can actually call and just do an overview of how can I be of service, and do you know anyone that can help me?
Yep. Smart.
Right? And that's my goal. When I don't know who you are, but and also people don't understand gatekeepers.
Yep.
Meaning you're smart enough to know that Andy Frisella, for example, you may, or Ed Milet, 2 guys that I know I want to introduce you to, you know that directly going to them may not always be the best
100%.
way.
And I don't usually always do it like that. And so, look, I got in touch with Ed's mechanic, just so you know.
Yeah, me too.
So I know, Ben. Yeah, so Ben and I have been talking.
Yeah.
And people are like, how'd you get in touch with his mechanic? Listen, there's always a way. But yeah, sometimes you can't. I've had a lot more success going through other people to get to him, but I've already had about 6, 7 people mention my name to him. So at some point, it's going to hit.
Exactly. And Lou's house is kind of the same for me, and I really enjoy his podcast.
He's great.
With him.
He's great.
Same way.
Yep.
It's funny because Lewis's house's mechanic heard me on Ed Milet.
Right.
Reached out to me because he wanted to help me.
There you
because
go.
he loved the episode so
There
much.
you go.
It goes full circle.
100%.
Now, GYMGUYZ.
Yep.
265
locations. We're in 30 states right now in 3 countries. We just signed a deal on Friday. We're in the United Kingdom. I'll be out there in 2 weeks.
What's harder? Starting out with those first few franchises or having 264 franchises?
Starting out.
Yeah. Why?
If you don't create the proper systems and have the blueprint laid out where it can really be a turnkey operation, everything will crash and burn. Everything is about understanding scale. But see, I triple, sometimes quadruple down on my strengths, and I always delegate my weaknesses. I know what I'm not good at, and I am not good at everything. But that's why I surround myself with great people. And whenever I need advice, whether it's you or someone in a franchise game who I've been mentored by, I want to make sure I always have the right people in my pockets that I could just pull out, call up, say, hey, I need some help. Because just ask for help. And people who are in the game, who've been there, they always want to help you, and that's very important.
That's a key point.
Yep.
People who have been there before and are successful will always want to help you, and that's why we help people.
100%.
264 franchises.
65.
65, sorry, and growing. Probably tomorrow will be 66.
We'll add another 100 to 150 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's one of the interesting things. You started off willing to risk everything.
Everything. Yep.
At 265, are you still in the same space, and you risk everything every day?
Everything. I will literally remove a body limb. That's how confident I am that we're going to be the best in the world. I have put my house. I could tell you crazy. Half the things. Like if my wife sees it, she's gonna flip because half the things I've done, she doesn't even know. I've turned down money that I could retire forever. I've turned it down because I know where we're going.
Don't say it on camera.
I'm not
My wife's
saying.
gonna shoot both of us. I sit there and she said, "You know what I'm realizing?" And please, entrepreneurs, you gotta love this. My wife said, "You know what I'm realizing? When you're not present, when you stop talking to me, you're making decisions that I know I would not approve of." Something
you said is spot on, and I love what you said. You said, never always take advice from loved ones because they're not always right. And listen, if I listen to my wife and we are total separates. Like you talk yin and yang.
Yeah.
We are just totally different people.
My wife's enlightened, I'm an idiot. So that's where our separation goes.
But you can't always take that advice, and you have to always ask people for help who've done it. And I'm not saying they always have the right answers, but you need to get a lot of different opinions so you can kind of make a good, educated decision.
Right. They need to have situational knowledge.
Yep.
One question.
Yep.
Your wife does have some situational knowledge. Where do you take her advice?
Emotionally, my wife always tells Josh, you got to slow down. Josh, you need to have some more patience. You need to, like when it becomes business, I have patience.
Yeah.
Anything else, I want it done yesterday.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But emotionally, she's there for me. She always listens to me. She's phenomenal. Like I'm blessed to have her, and I truly say a lot of my success is because of her, because she always supports me. And listen, my schedule is crazy. Yeah. I am like nonstop, and and most people probably would get very frustrated at my schedule, but she's very supportive of it.
I always say, people say behind every great entrepreneur is even a better woman.
100%.
I say even more in my case. It's in front of me is my wife pulling me along.
Yep.
Right? Like literally, she's an incredible thing. Last question.
Sure.
Someone like you, like super entrepreneur. Like I said, you're one of the #1 entrepreneur that I know. Like if I wrote a book, I'd kind of outline who Josh York is and
I
say,
appreciate that,
this
man.
is how heart and determination makes you successful.
Yep.
Right? But I'm interested in one last question.
Sure.
What's enough for you?
You know, honestly, I always look back to that money I could have took. It was a lot. I would have been good.
Yeah.
First of all, I would never sell out my team because my team.
I sold out and went broke because of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I had everything I ever dreamed of.
And sometimes, but sometimes that's not everything, right?
It wasn't, right?
But I would never sell out my family, my team, because we do this together, and I have the vision of where we're going and what I'm going to do for everybody on my team for all the hard work and blood and sweat and tears we put into this. But I loved action. I love with my back against the wall. I love when I used to have all these negatives in my account, just trying to figure out how to do it. And I don't come from money. I don't have a lot of money.
Right.
You know, now I'm becoming more successful, and yes, I've become very successful by the age of 28, and I'm 35 right now. But I just love it. I can't. Well, what am I gonna do? Sit home all day? Like I love to just be at it every day. I love the grind. I live for the grind.
Do you think that'll last forever?
I think at some point it will calm down eventually, you know, as I get older and older. But one thing that's very important to me is I really do have a good balance. I spend enough time with my children. I'm with my family, but you know, I'm always getting up a lot earlier. You know, like everyone's still sleeping. I already put 5 hours in at the office.
Both of us, man.
That's how you
I'm
do
on
it.
the East Coast.
Yep.
But it's amazing too because there is enough time for everything.
100%.
It's being productive and accessible with your time.
Yep.
How productive am I? How accessible am I to others?
100%.
Most importantly, our families.
Yes.
And then how am I accessing what I need?
Yep.
And what I love about you as we finish up is you're humble enough to still ask for help.
100%.
I love, and you have creative ways of asking for help.
Yep.
And you are of service. You're one of those people that I met. I'm like, you know what? Because of the energy, I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but I had a feeling, and it was like, bam. You know what? Very few people. I'm like calling people right on the spot, going, "I'm going to get you in there," because I want people.
it.
You're a true entrepreneur, and you know, if you ever need anything, let me know. But please,
Same for you.
check out Josh York. If you're a young entrepreneur, he has the formula for anyone, regardless of coming from no money, no education, how to be successful and to manifest what you want. This is your guy, Josh York of GYMGUYZ.
Appreciate
Next
that.
time I talk to him, I'm sure he'll have 500 franchises. And
we were just
could not be happier for
We're
you.
just getting started, and I appreciate those kind words. Thanks, David.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Josh York with Dave Meltzer, entrepreneur, The Playbook.